Hi, everyone. Don't you love it when things don't work properly? Hi, Philly. Oh, I hope everybody's doing good. Waiting for some people to come in. Okay, so YouTube, you're now live on the channel. Yep, I think I am live on that channel. Good to know. So sorry, it's a Friday night. Had some businesses that had to be done over the last couple of weeks, and they seem to fall on my Saturdays or my Wednesdays. I have no idea why this thing is doing this, but things are. So just wait a few more minutes before everybody starts. I got all my cards all messed up. Did I do that? I bet you I did. It's clumsy like me. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. So just an announcement: we are offering. If you go to our websites, or I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube as well, is that we now have for November 5th, we have 10 people only dedicated reads for mediumship. So you'll be guaranteed to read, but there's only 10 people allowed to come in. Just think it's 33, turns out to be $33 Canadian with tax and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested, head over to our Facebook page. So we already have 2 or 3 people signed up. So you got about 6 or 7 left. So if you're interested, like I said, it's only 10 people that can be on Zoom, and you're guaranteed to read. Jeez. Okay, so next week we should be back to normal. And my stand is not working all that great. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I think we should pick somebody before we do that, don't you think? Let's go see if we missed anybody. Because this thing moves fairly fast. Just want to see. Hi, Karen. Well, let's start with Pauline Fletcher. Okay. I do hate this thing. My regular pen disappeared. Now I got to use a new one. You know, it's kind of odd. You know, you get so used to something, and then it disappears. It kind of like that really disrupts your whole energy field. But if I can't find it, I'll just blame my kid. It makes me happier. Okay, so for my mom or dad. Okay, well, I think I got both of them. I mean, they're kind of mentioning to me that they are together now, and they've been sending messages to you lately. And I think one of the messages they're sending to you is it's kind of focusing on issues around you that you need to solve. There's a message that's saying that there may be people around you that are annoying you or causing you issues, and it's really time for you to sit back and decide, do you want to keep these people in your life? Do you want to have to deal with these for the rest of your life, solve the issues? So either solve the issues or say goodbye. Um, for some reason, they're saying they're in Palm Beach. Is that Florida? I'm not sure. Anyway, so they're saying that they're at places, they're visiting places that they've always wanted to go, and they're having a very good time. They are still hanging around you. They want to make sure that you're not being energy drained, and they give you a lot of energy. So just the feeling right now that they're saying it's time for you to sit back, put your feet up, and say, you know what? I want my time. I want my time to relax. I want to be able to have a drink in one hand, sit outside the house and just watch people go by and realize that you have been successful. And there's a lot of praise headed your way from your parents for what you've done in this life. Because whether you realize or not, there are people who are very, very much trying to get the word, appreciate you. But it's time for you to start appreciating yourself, take some healing stuff, take steps to heal yourself, take steps to find, your purpose in life. From what the spirit guides are saying means your whole purpose in life is to be happy and like yourself. And when you reach that point, then you've known that you've fulfilled what your purpose in life is. Helping other people and spirituality and all that, yeah, that's a purpose and everything else, but your personal focus will always be to make sure that you are sitting there happy, and that in your own mind you've done what you're meant to do in this life, so you can be happy and satisfied. I don't know why I just heard this, and I'm just going to send it to you because I have no idea what they mean, but all I heard your mother say, she just smiled and said, the ice cream's going to melt. And okay, and that's it. So I hope that helps you in some way. So that was for Pauline Fletcher, and thank you for coming. Let's move down to where all the new people are. Okay, well, let's try. And Eva. Okay, so romantic relationship. I have to admit, romances are not really the strong point of myself. I think mainly because there's kind of a pushback or pullback from me because I don't want to hurt you or hurt people. But I'm just going to listen to my spirit guide and let him decide what to tell you. All right, so Bernard, my spirit guide, is letting you know that at this point in time, there's a few things that you need to solve first, or things that you need to complete before you'll find that satisfaction. And he's mentioning things like that I see a change or a new higher position in a job, as well as setting down, planning for your own future, deciding where you are going to be happy with. And then once all of that is done, he says over the next 6 to 8 months, you're going to be planning all this, focusing a lot on where you are going to be, stable in your life. your foundation is built, then that person will arrive. And that person's already been picked, is already waiting for you. But again, it's just a message from them saying, just make sure all your stuff is set up first. And once you've done that, then that one will come. Again, though, I'm hearing from him between 6 to 8 to 12 months before you actually meet this person, and then that relationship will move on. Anyway, that's all I have for you, and thank you for coming. Okay, so okay, Laura Shepard. Okay, so okay, your spirit guide says, kind of expect the next year or so to be a bit of a roller coaster for you, and not in a negative way, just more of, things speeding up and, a lot of the good stuff coming your way. I'm hearing from him that there's been kind of a delay in things happening with you, and at times getting frustrating. But I just see over the next year, really, when the year's over, you'll be kind of like out of breath and say, I can't believe all this happened at the same time. And looking at the cards, I'm seeing that, the first one is the romance card. If you're in a relationship, it gets better. Then the next one right after that is promotion, new job, new activity for work, and finding the contentment as you're able to finish the stuff you've always wanted to do. And of course, there's always negativity in being there. But this card is indicating to me that you are going to be on a good path, but it might be a fast path. And you might be surprised at the things that change. I think I just kind of get the feeling at times you're going to feel out of breath, and that like your guide's saying, you're going to be holding on for dear life as everything moves so fast. I'm also seeing that spiritually you're going to be opening up a lot more. I see like your chest is the chest where the chakra is going to be a lot more light there. And there's something there that I see that's again, just a lot of these things are new for me what they're showing, but I'm seeing something near your womb, which either may mean that you may have a child coming, or somebody around you may have it that's close to you may have a child coming, maybe other people, but there's certainly a new child sitting there somewhere. And so it's going to be kind of a very hectic year for you. And perhaps that's what that is. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Hopefully it makes sense. So that's for Laura Shepard. So I have to scroll down here because it sometimes go too fast. Okay, so Elokin Raspberry. Spell. My spellings get worse and worse. Okay, so spirit guides. So the first thing I'm hearing from the left-hand spirit guide is that I think a lot of people are finding this, but it's kind of you stepping back and dealing with negativity. I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, but I see a kind of a back-to-back conflict going on for the next little while, where it suddenly breaks and it just kind of things will move on. But once that happens, or if that happens, then you'll find yourself moving faster. And I'm not saying that's a relationship; it could be just a friend. But I just feel that there will be somebody's negative around you that will suddenly disappear, and you'll get this sense of freedom. I'm also being told that there may be a chance for you to take a trip or travel or perhaps even learn in different locations. But work-wise, it just seems like work is going to be okay for you. I certainly see a lot of success there, or perhaps you moving the ladder, or you kind of like standing up and holding your head up high and saying, this is not going to do for me. And the other thing I'm kind of seeing is that there's a dog that's passed that's also following you around and kind of letting you know that even though that they're gone, they're still around. But yeah, the conflict is just a minor thing that you just, once you get rid of that, you'll see there's a lot of freedom ahead of you. And like I said, conflicts with people often slow us down, and we don't notice that. And then once we stop the conflict, we're able to move forward with a lot of speed and a lot of clarity. You know, you are going to grow a lot in your own spiritual abilities as well. I see you developing a whole new modality. You kind of waking up one day and saying, I want to do this and I want to do that. Then you kind of move into a different modality. And you realize perhaps what you've been doing on the spiritual side isn't exactly what you wanted, even though you thought it was, but perhaps it's not. And you'll step back and realize that there is something else that makes you a lot happier to do spiritually. And then you'll start moving towards there. It might mean, though, putting a couple people aside to get to where you are, because I'm not, again, friends or people who do it the way you're doing it now, but you decide that's not good enough. So you decide to move a different direction and they may drop off. Then you may get new people. But all in all, I just kind of see some really, really good stuff moving forward, and getting rid of a lot of the negative stuff that's holding you back. Of course, letting go of people can also be very hard to do and traumatic, but sometimes we let go of people, and then after a while, then they kind of ease off, realizing they went too far, and then the relationship kind of comes back in kind of a better way. Anyways. So okay, Reels Amanda. All right. Okay, so the first one I get is a male. I'll try that without the cards. So the first thing I'm kind of hearing from him, I'm just pausing because I'm just trying to go through the spirit guides to get the messages, because he's a little bit off energy from me. So my spirit guide's going to kind of deal with the conversation. So the first thing I'm kind of hearing is that um, he's still being the one who's monitoring everybody. He's still very protective of you, um, and often talks to you in a sense where you'll be worried about something, then you'll suddenly feel kind of at ease, and that's him letting you know when things are going to be good and when things aren't going to be bad. Um, and he wants you to know that he was lifted out of his body before he passed, so there was no pain at him at his crossing. Um, uh, Even though there was before, but there wasn't any when he crossed over. What I'm also feeling is that um, he's been, I think you might have noticed maybe some noises up. I just kind of see him moving things. Um, little things, that you might notice, or you close automatically without thinking about it. But he says he wants to annoy you as best he can, so that he's there, and then you'll get annoyed with him, and then he'll be happy. Again, I'm starting to deal with pets and that, so for some reason I'm seeing another person who's got a car or truck or something that has a dog going in and out of it and taking care of the dog. This is I'm not sure if this is him or another person, but again, just going through my spirit guide, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of love headed your way from your brother. I'm not connecting with your niece. Could be your brother is the only one. Maybe it's because it's a 5-minute read. He just wants to get information out. So the one card, he wants me to pull the one card for you. So says you're going to get some help moving forward in the next little while, and then you're going to have that strength to move forward on your own. So I just got the feeling that you're just going to learn stuff, or somebody's just going to, push you forward so that your confidence is a lot better, so you can do the things that maybe you're a little hesitant at doing. But he says, don't worry. He says, family will always be behind you. No matter what you do, we'll always, geez, forgot the word. We'll always be with you in that regard. He says, other than if you're a mass murderer, then we'll just kind of step aside, because, that being a mass murderer just isn't something to think about. Then he just laughs. He says, you won't. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so that's all he really wants you to know, that don't think he's not there. He is there. And he says your niece is also around. She's just busy with other things. So anyway, so that's all I have for you. I hope that helps in some way. Okay, so you guys ever wonder at signs, weird signs? And I know this is probably a bad one, but have you ever drive into a old age home and the first sign you see is dead end? Just kind of a weird thought. And then you see the other signs around that says no exit. Yeah, it just kind of gives me thoughts. Anyway. So I have a spirit that popped in, has been waiting for me to talk to people. So I have a young girl that I see as being in the hospital, but I don't think she's in the hospital for medication or whatnot. I think she was in there through a trauma. Long hair, dark long hair, not dark, but Not dark, but hazel brown, I guess you would call it, maybe. But I believe either she was in an accident or perhaps, something a bit more, which I'm not going to talk about, but much more of a, family dispute type of thing. But I feel that she passed wanting to know where her mother was. And that she felt that people had not come to see her for some reason. But she wants everybody to know that she's doing great. She's passed over by her grandmother. She remembers sitting at the edge of the bed talking to her grandmother who was on the other bed and discussing things that were going to happen in school and so on and so forth. And though she didn't realize when she was talking to her grandmother about that, she had passed. She was probably, I think she was about 11 or 12. See a cat with her. She's holding on to a cat that's also passed. And just saying that everything is good. Everything's happy on her side. Again, I'm not going to discuss what being seen of the occasion or whatever happened. Anyway, so she just wants her family to know that she's good where she is. Okay, so it's her parents that didn't come to see her. It was her grandmothers that came to take care of them. But she says it's all good. Anyway, so let's move on from that. So if anybody can recognize her, or just let me know by comment or whatever. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so like I said, sorry, this is going fast, so let's bump it up here. So well, Charlie, not everyone is temporary. There is one that is a permanent one. Sometimes until the new one comes, then they will have temporary relationships. And sometimes, people just keep making the same mistakes and picking people. And until we learn how to make the proper mistakes, then we'll always have somebody that's wrong. Sometimes we just have to take a walk and look at the relationships we had and see where they're wrong and, what's going on with them. Sometimes take time away to analyze that. Because, not only the mistake is with them, but sometimes with us, or always with us, part and part, because it's not always just one side. Something we have to learn to do is look at both sides. So once you kind of realize, what the type of person you have, or the type of things you're doing or whatnot, then and then perhaps then you'll find a bit more clarity with that. Anyway, a little brief interlude there. Dale skirt. relationships. Okay, so judging from the cards, I'm kind of seeing the first card that comes here, the joining of two, which is basically means somebody coming in, but I don't see it as being a relationship that is fulfilling at the beginning. I think there's going to be time for this to move forward. It'd certainly be even more somebody that maybe more of a talk to each other, or talk in a way of a friendship or whatnot and move forward. Time wise, though, I really don't have a time wise for that. I mean, it's using your own spirituality to look at things and say, okay, how long is this going to take? But sometimes it just takes a bit longer than what we've always expected. I asked the second set of cards about the actual relationship itself. So we have here success with money, that's going to come first. Then we have being happy, celebrate, enjoy relationships, and the other one's enjoying life. So the answer is yes, you are going to have one, but they're not giving me a time frame here or anything. I just get the feeling, like I mentioned earlier, for this lady, is that it's going to take a bit of time as there's adjustment and you filling in the stuff you need to fill in first, and then eventually it just kind of pulls through. But no, I don't have a specific time frame for you. This just is. It just will be. So. I think I already did you, so. Okay, so Joanne Smale. Okay, is everything going to go work with your son? I'm connecting to your spirit again, that I get a warm feeling come back. So the feeling I'm getting is that if it's not going to be right away, at the end, it's going to be a smooth relationship in that kind of sense. I'm looking at the cards as they come out. The first one is the Balawiri, indicating with your son. But as you move through the cards here, I see more of a progression from, taking a step back, understanding each other, and then finally finding the happiness with each other. Once you figure out which path both you need to be going to make yourselves happy. Living with people is not always that easy, and even when they're your own kids, and we always will have kids. People have kids that we just don't get along with, and that's just part of life. There's usually when that happens, it's because there's somebody that's joined the family that hasn't been with you in past lives. So it's a learning process for somebody that's in your path that's new. There's always a conflict with that. It's just like a relationship. Where most of us, when we're born and we have, kids or people we like, is because they've been with us in the past life and we have a comfort with them. But the card kind of indicates to me that down the road there won't be any problem between the two of you. So yeah, I think it's going to kind of work out for you. To what degree? That's up to you guys. Okay, so if again, for those that weren't here earlier, we do have an offer going on now where we're doing some mediumship reads on November 5th. There's only be 10 people in Zoom, guaranteed that you're going to get a reading. So it's about $33 Canadian. So you will get a guaranteed a reading, plus some stuff that's also going to be there, connecting to mediumships, connecting to, spirit guides and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just the readings, it's going to be little things thrown in, some healing stuff. So if you're interested, check out our website. Not our website. I haven't put up a website. Check out our Facebook page. It's posted there. Then you can buy tickets there. So, Ghostbusters. Okay. Yeah, Easter's coming. Time to scare the kids. Yeah, well, we'll try. Bridget Hamill. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm kind of getting is from an older female that's kind of standing behind you to the left. I kind of feel this more just like a grandmother, just kind of the way she's dressed and the way, just the feeling I get from her. And I got a message from her kind of saying that she says the topsy-turvy that you're talking about, she says it's all going to calm down in the next little while. There's going to be a resolution on the issues that are around you. And she also wants you to know that, anyway, for you to know that there are 15 family members in your house that are kind of directing you in the way you should be. But sometimes she says you're just still too stubborn to hear things or want to do things because they're of a discomfort for you. And I always say, if you're sitting there and you're having these arguments in the back of your head and you're getting pissed off at it, that's a spirit, because we don't argue with ourselves, and we won't get pissed off at ourselves unless we did something wrong. So she says, just take the time out, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go sit outside, think about things in a long way, and don't allow people to talk to you when you're trying to think, because then you'll just get distracted. So just find some time to be by yourself, and so you get clarity. She's also saying that for some reason I'm seeing young kids running around. That, a lot of spirits are watching over young kids. And she says, I think one's going to get injured, but she says that's what kids do. Maybe a little bit more of a heavier injury. It's not going to do anything for their lives or whatnot. So just kind of keep your eye on kids to make sure they're not doing something stupid. I mean, really, that's kind of like what kids do, right? That's how we learn. She also wants you to know that she heard you say goodbye, and just kind of wishes you would cook more. She says it's much better if you cook than it would be, to keep getting things and buying things just simply because of speed and whatnot. She says people are happier when you reduce the speed and are able to sit down and talk. So even at the dinner table, she says, make sure that people are talking. Make sure everybody talks about their lives, and that, that way, people know that they're actually interested in each other. And that way you'll have much more clarity in what people are saying. Anyway, so she's got to go and just wants you to know that you are being watched by a lot of spirits. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Anyway. So, guys, if you like what we do or what I do, could you please, click on the follow button or the subscribe button in YouTube? Much appreciated. As well as you can see, if you want to support the page, just hit the star buttons or through PayPal. And I'll try to be more consistent. Well, actually, I will be, but. Okay, well, Sue's Lane. I think it's going to get better. There's going to be a slowdown for a lot of people, that coming January or so. Just lost my screen. And to me, it's just kind of a, time for everybody to reset or whatnot. However, for you over the next 6 months, like I said, January will be a little slow for you. However, around the, February or so, there's time for it to have a family celebration as well as, the lover comes up here. Celebration is usually somebody either getting married or having a child. So February shows like that everything's going to be nice for you and for the following year. Just kind of think for the next, November, December, and February, January for the next 3 months, you're still going to be a little bit on a upsy downsy type of thing. But as soon as you hit that February, like again, the family celebration, the lover's card comes in, which is again, pure love, watching over a child, a new relationship or existing one moving to the next level. And the battle of weirds will come to an end. But unfortunately, I just kind of see that maybe in the next 3 months, you're still going to be up and down, and you may have to wait till like February, March before you see the upcoming. But yeah, I think that you're going to be doing better after that time. You'll be a lot more relaxed and a lot more smiling as you have a lot less negativity going through that time. Anyway, I hope that helps. That's all I have for you. Suze, thank you for coming. Okay. Let's not break the cards. Sorry, just had another spirit pop in here. So what I'm seeing is, and I'm seeing a guy who's more of a brother to somebody that's here. He's also holding a small black dog, very feisty dog, doesn't want to be held. And just letting, the family knowing that he received the dog after it passed and that they're having a lot of fun on the other side. Wish I knew the name, but it's one of those small, holding your hands, black dogs and with fur all over the face. And I believe this person is actually passed in a car accident. And it's just, a message saying, that he's doing very well. He's taking care of the family as well as pets that come across. And the pet itself, the dog itself, wants the owner to know that, to thank you for all that, for the taking care of the life of its life, and that uh, she had a really good time and really, appreciated the help that was given her. But I think at the end, she said she had enough. Um, but both of them are here to tell this lady, um, uh, again, thank you very much for helping them in their lives. Anyway, so that's all I have for that, and let's move on. $33 from readings. I'm not sure where that comes from. I must have said something that I don't remember saying. Maybe somebody was talking through me. Okay, let's zoom down here. Okay, so taste shoots. The first thing I'm kind of seeing from your spirit guide that's showing me is that over the next 3 months, there's going to be a new direction for you, which will separate you from existing friends or a friend, which shows to me that you might be coming into a situation where you're going to be either moving or perhaps finding be in a relationship. But I kind of feel this is more of career-wise, moving in a different direction, perhaps, working for a company that transfers from a different town or even perhaps the government. But I really see that there's a kind of an ending between you and one friend that allows you to move forward with a lot more happiness. So somebody that's dragging you back. Because, when all this happens, I see the new money coming your way, comfort with money, and you'll have much more time to sit down and go back to your creative side, and releasing yourself from everything that's holding you back. It's almost like you're with somebody and you just don't want to release yourself to be who you truly are. Perhaps because if you're in a relationship, maybe if you do that, then you feel that you might lose the relationship. I just feel there's a lot of holding back from you, and that over the next little while, you're going to release yourself and you're going to move forward with, either something for your career or new learning or whatnot, but definitely move. If not a physical move, certainly a move from one company to another. That's going to make you happy. It's just a definite move, mental wise or physical. I don't actually see the physical card here, but I'm hearing the word move. So again, just could be that mental change so that you're in a far better path headed forward. Anyway, okay, that's all I have for you. I hope that makes sense, but sometimes they come out a little cryptic. Okay. That's on moving forward. And speaking on moves. Okay, so Lakshmit. Okay. Well, when I'm looking at the cards, I really kind of feel that there is a move coming, especially, I don't know if you're going through a bit of a grieving or the, loss of something, but I definitely feel that, I kind of seeing, packages being made or whatnot and kind of moving in a sense, maybe a new house or perhaps, new city or whatnot. Um, because I certainly see that the card is either you believing somebody or relationship or whichever one that would be, or just wanting a new place. On the other side, I also see the romance card, as well as seeking directions and new friends. So the move will happen and it'll put you in a new place for you to learn new things, to be able to do new things, and give you a bit of freedom from where you are now. Um, so yeah, I do see that move coming. Time frame? I don't really have one. They're not showing me a time frame, but yeah, it's coming. So kind of prepared to be ready to move. Um, anyway, so that's all I have for you. I hope that helps. Okay, so. Oh, you saw my mug, did you? Yeah, my wife got it to me for Christmas. So Margie LaGrove. Unfortunately, I'm not a psychiatrist or somebody to kind of give you that kind of guidance to where you're headed, or I certainly will tell you not to take your life because obviously they're teaching you something or there's lessons to be learned. As hard as that is to hear that, um, obviously I would suggest you perhaps go talk to somebody and see what's happening. Looking at your cards here, it's coming up. And talking to your spirit guide. I mean, obviously, if it's, like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't sit here and have the authority or the knowledge to say this and that to help you go forward. But what I'm being told that I can give you from the cards and from your spirit guide is that there's a lot of positive changes. And I'll show you the cards here. The first card that comes up is the Lover's card. So the Lover's card is, somebody coming in and helping you move forward, and somebody to listen to you, or a new relationship if you're not in one. Everything over the next 3 months will get balanced for you, so that you're going to have some time to sit down and think and realize that we have to look outside our own backyard to see other things that will give clarity. Now, I always say that, even me, that at times, we only see ourselves and what's just around just us, and that kind of depresses us. And what I mean by the backyard is we have to go through the backyard, look over the fence to see the rest of things going on, so that, we have a bit more clarity for ourselves. And the other one is going to be, comfort with money. So, I mean, the cards are saying that it's going to get better. How, and that's the best I can tell you. It's how that will help you or how that will kind of you look at things in a much different way. Yeah, it's the best I can give you. Don't take your life. Um, please don't take your life. I don't don't deal well with that stuff. But go see your doctor. Go go to the hospital. Explain to them what you're feeling, and I'm sure that they can give you some help with that. Nobody's going to ignore you. I would just suggest it. Seek somebody. So that's all I have for you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see where we can go. So Elisa, Allison Lett. Okay, so no job, no partner, and kids don't talk to you. I know probably not a good time for joking, but sometimes I always feel grateful when my kids don't talk to me. Usually means they don't want something. Anyway, I always feel sad when that happens to a family, that there's no communication in that. But we will see what the cards say. So the first thing that comes up here is over the next little while. I see here that the new job card is here, so moving forward. But I also see the move card. So the move card is two things, where either you'll be moving or you'll be moving to the next level in your life. Somebody could be moving in. Somebody could be things will change, get another animal type of thing. But certainly all the cards here are showing a more of a positive move forward, but they're all showing itself singularly. So they don't show me any kind of relationship coming here, though. That's not the focus, I think, right now. They're just showing you that there's movement to put you in a straight foot so that you can move forward and you can get things done. The last card here is self-help. Being able to sit down, go out for walks, and learning how to eat properly, make sure there's not too much sugar, all that kind of stuff, and making sure that your health is good. Once your health is good, then you realize that you have more energy to deal with things. And sometimes, even if people don't talk to us, sometimes it's a good thing, because that gives us time to reevaluate ourselves and our lives and whatnot. Especially women who work 4.5 times more, 4.5 times more than men. You're so focused on other people and wanting to help people and whatnot, that sometimes it's good for, especially a female, just to sit back and say, you know what, I'm not going to help anybody for a little bit. I'm going to help myself. And if I ignore people, perhaps we'll see if they actually like me or not, or if they're willing to make changes. And then once you feel comfortable with yourself, then you can move forward and say, okay, what's happening here? So just take some time to reflect and, reset yourself. And everything goes in a circle for a reason. So anyway, that's all I have for you. So I hope that helps in some way. Let's starting to feel like a psychiatrist. Ooh, anyway, so thanks everybody for coming. My time's up. Again, hit the follow or subscribe button if you're from. And don't forget, we have that event coming up where, again, it's a room for 10 people and everybody gets a reading. There's no waiting in line. There's definitely getting reading and healing and whatnot. So check out our website check out our Facebook today to see the information, and tonight it'll be popping up on our website. So again, thanks everyone, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take care, everyone.